What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Tuesday night live cast here at Bass 365. Man, it's been a busy week. The weather's changing. I guess the temperature's dropped 20 degrees here today. I got to get my cold weather gear out. But tonight we got a little different show. We've got somebody that's usually hosting the show with us, but tonight he's going to be a guest because something really big just happened. Laker Hal just qualified for the 2023-2022 All-American, and at 20 years old, pretty big accomplishment. I've been fortunate. I've spent a lot of time with Laker. He's a fine young man and a tremendous young fisherman. So we're going to get him on here to talk about his tournament down there in Florida. Some of the baits he caught him on. Then we're going to get into a little fall fishing. Then we got a special surprise at the end of the show, which should be entertaining to say the least. Hey, Mark Johnson, how you doing, buddy? So we're gonna bring Laker on, I think. Yeah, what's up, Laker?
What's going on, Ricky?
Nothing much, brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, man?
No complaints here. Glad to be talking to you from this side of the mic, interviewing you this time because something pretty special happened last weekend.
Dude, it was such a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. First, I'd like to, first go ahead and whoever's watching, if you've texted me to say congratulations, I really do appreciate it a lot. I suck at my phone, so I gotta do better at that. But man, last week in Florida, it was incredible. I mean, practice started off, I get down there and it's freezing cold. And Florida fish don't like the cold weather. Anyone from Florida can vouch on that. And if you fish Florida in the cold, you're not going to get a bite. So in practice, it really wasn't great. I fished for 4 days, 10-hour days, and I had 9 bites in practice in total. I averaged 2 a day. It was pretty bad. So I legitimately did not believe that I was going to even come close to catching a limit day one. I told my buddies, I was like, if I catch a limit tomorrow, I'm going to be ecstatic. And I went out there and, just fished Florida like I like to fish Florida. It was just one of them things where, I got up on the bank and I didn't really have to get off the bank at all. I stayed in 2 to 3 foot of water and I just went junk fishing. I just pulled out a popping frog and, just went to work with it. And, day one, God straight up blessed me with a 7-8 on the frog. That was so incredible. Back in this pocket, I pulled up in there, and in practice, here's the one thing about practice, guys. If you shake a fish off in practice, there's a very good chance you'll catch him in the tournament. And in practice, I had 1 bite on a frog. Total whole practice, 1 bite. And it was back in the same pocket, 10 feet away from where I caught this fish in the tournament. And I actually shook this fish off in practice. So it could have been a different one. I really don't know, but that's the only bite I got in there in the tournament, and it was a 7-8. So that was day one, and it really kick-started the whole deal. I was in 7th after day one. Day two, went out, did the same thing, but it really wasn't as easy on day two. I really had to scratch and claw. I got 5 bites in total on day two, and I got blessed enough to put them all 5 in the boat because a lot of times you lose fish on a frog. It's just how it is. And none of them came off. I had 3 fish with 30 minutes to go on day two. And I was just joking with my non-boater and saw a cut up on a bank, fired the frog up in there, and a 6 1/4 just smashed it. Now, it was incredible. I mean, if you didn't hear me from Alabama or wherever you're at screaming, I'd be shocked because I was beside myself when I caught that fish. It was incredible. And then the last fish I caught was a 12-incher with literally 5 minutes to go in the tournament. So day two was nerve-wracking to say the least. And I had to keep praying and rolling with it from there. I had 14 1/4 on day two, and it was enough to keep me in 8th place. And obviously when you get to day three, normally you just have all the pressure off of you if you don't think you can win. And this particular event, I will say I had no shot at winning because day one guy absolutely blew it out. He had 33 pounds and 12 ounces on day one, which is incredible. He really blew it out. But so going into day three, I really just was looking at top six. I was like, if I can get in that top six, that's where I want to be. And, in this event, only 49 guys make the All American. You got six from each regional. There's six regionals. And then there's one other championship that seven go from, and then the wild card event. So if you want to make it next year, that's how you can get in. But I knew only top six in this one event went to it, and that was my best shot. So I just had to go fishing. I did not fish. Only fished one bank on day two that was actually on day three that was actually from the first 2 days. I kind of just scrambled around, and day three, it started off the very, very first cast I made that morning. I caught a 5.5 pounder on a frog. It was the most awesome start to the day that I've ever had in a tournament.
Wait, did you say you just caught it on the first cast? Is that what
Yeah,
I heard? Man,
first
that's
cast.
like that's usually a curse.
Dude, I know, isn't it?
That's usually a curse. You didn't even make like a little flip before you made the cast?
No,
Oh,
so that was my flip. I just made a flip. That was my flip. Because to get back in this creek, and it's my starter creek. That's the one creek that I actually went to day three. So I get up in there, and non-boater's still getting his stuff undone from the run, and he's back there fooling with baits. And I got up, put the trolling motor down. I never touched it. I just made one little flip down this mat just as a starting cast, and it just smashed it.
wow.
I'm surprised I didn't miss it, to be honest with you, because it scared me so bad. But
I've seen that before.
yeah, it was crazy.
It sounds like that, the frog played a big part in your success down there. And one of the questions I've got is, living at Guntersville, you fish a frog a lot. Do you think that helps you when it comes to frog fishing? Does it make you a better frog fisherman because
It
you throw
absolutely
one so much?
does. It absolutely does, because the frog is really just part of like how I like to fish in general. I've been throwing a frog since I can remember, because I've always just seen my dad throw it, and he's fairly good with one too. He's who taught me how to throw it, and then I just kind of went from there and started using it, because who doesn't like a good frog blow up, So,
No doubt.
but yeah, definitely living on Guntersville has really upped that frog game a lot. I spent an entire summer with a partner of mine out here, and we literally just broke down the lake with nothing but a frog. We started in the beginning of the end of May, beginning of June, and we just worked our way down the entire lake just throwing a frog. So, I mean, the more you throw it, the better you get with it. And that's just what you have to do with any bait, really.
Did your dad have any advice going into the tournament?
Well, when I told him how bad my practice was, he really just kind of told me to go out there and trust God, and that's really all I did, because that whole tournament was God. I mean, by 12:20, I had 3 fish on day one, and that's at the 7.5. I mean, I haven't really been fishing big level tournaments like this for very long. That's the biggest fish I've caught in a big level tournament like that, and to do it on a frog on the first day was pretty incredible.
We talk about it a lot here. You and I have talked about it a lot with Tristan and other people we've had on, but you made a comment earlier that you only the day three you only fished, or day two you only fished one bank that you had fished previously. You're fishing all new water, and I think, and you can tell me if I'm right or not, I think a lot of that comes back to trusting your gut and your instincts. And I got to follow up to that as well when you get done with it.
Yeah, you got to trust your instincts, man. I mean, that's just how it goes, because in a tournament, see, I this season, I noticed that my biggest flaw was that I tried to force areas that I'd gotten bit in the day before, because you go to that area, you remember, oh, I caught a 7-pounder on that tree right there, I'm going to do it again. And it doesn't happen because fish, especially Florida fish, don't reload like that on particular pieces of stuff overnight. So that's kind of just how I had the idea in my head. I was like, I'm not going to relive this whole year and screw myself up again. I'm just going to run new water and go practicing because I really didn't have much of anything. I just started running stuff that looked good and somehow found 5 bites on day 2. So you got to really trust your gut because if you make a decision and then you go to that spot and you don't fish it out like you had in your head, you could be missing out on something because if you're not making a clear decision and knowing what you're going to do when you get there, I mean, that's what makes a tournament fisherman, I think, is decisions because a lot of people can catch a bass anywhere in the country. There's a lot of really good fishermen, but tournament fishermen is all about decisions, and you got to commit to your decision and know when the decision was wrong and then know how to fix it, you know?
Right. With all that being said, it's such a young age. How have you become so accomplished at that? Is it just from being around your dad, being around the other guys, hearing them talk, watching them do their thing? Do you think that
So
helps?
it definitely does, but in my opinion, I don't think, you hear all the time on the water is the best way to do
Right.
that. And I feel like you can't learn how to make a decision on your own from somebody else. You have to go out there and just do it. You got to start fishing as many tournaments as you possibly can. And you're going to zero. You're going to have bad days, but that's what makes you learn how to uh, make the right decision in the future because you don't want to zero. So you start to kind of see what you do wrong and analyze it and move forward and get better at it as time goes on.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Time on the water, there's no substitute for it. You can do all the Google map search and research the lake, on the internet. It definitely helps, I think. But
Yeah.
that time on the water is so critical, and I think you would tell any young angler that as much time as they can spend on the water, the better they are. Do
Yeah.
you
You
think?
don't.
Do you think just fishing in general? I mean, not everybody is in a situation where they can be out in a boat on that particular body of water the tournament may be getting ready to happen on. But do you think just like your local pond, if you're walking the bank, do you think that adds to that knowledge and decision making or no?
I think it does. I think anytime you've got a rod in your hand, it makes you make decisions. There's old Randy Howell back here behind me on the
Crawling up in the boat, he's probably stealing all your tackle.
He's actually in his boat right now. So
Yeah, that is his boat. That's right. That's right.
yeah, I had to
Um.
show his boat because I kind of messed my wrap up down there in Florida.
Oh no.
Getting around in those places, trying to make the right cast, you gotta get around some bad stuff sometimes. Unfortunately,
You ready for me to come in? You want to wait a little
Yeah.
longer?
No, we're kind of getting to the end of this all American thing, and
and then,
I'm proud of old little man here.
yeah,
Little
you're
man.
all right, man.
It's the only time
I know the exact feeling, Randy. I know exactly how you feel. It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, it sure was. It was so exciting. Well, I was in Texas speaking at a church event, and so Saturday, I was followed. I got there Friday, so I was watching it Friday, then Saturday, then see it, and then he come in Saturday and text me and said he had 17 pounds. He thought, or 17 to 18, and I thought. I was thinking that wasn't enough, but then I thought to myself, I just feel like it's going to work out. I just feel like one of them feelings, just like when Lord's blessed me and let things happen for me, and everything happened for him like that all week, and then he come back and got in, and I'm like, I was so proud of him because he needed a good confidence booster, and that's so big in your career starting out to have a good tournament that you know nothing about anything, and you go fish your strengths and you grind it out, and he got to experience all the different crazy things that I've experienced in a lot of times in my career, catching fish at the last minute and barely making the last spot every time. I've done that so much in my life. I don't know why it happens like that, but for him to have those same experiences, that's what's so cool. And and it's cool too that, you know, I told you this earlier down the text, and I don't know if he said it earlier, but you know, I started my career with Red Man Tournament Trail right there, and where you live, Ricky, in Virginia, North Carolina, on Gaston and Kerr Lake, Bugs Island, and I almost made the All-American when I was 18, and that's when I got sick and my colon ruptured inside. I had to have emergency surgery, went through all that crazy stuff. And the following year, I made it, and I was 19. And then when I turned 20, about like him, just like a month and a half later, probably, and him at the same age of, you know, range of 20 years old, to make it myself. And that was my stepping stone in my career. You know, that was my first big break that made me feel like I was really going to make it in this sport. And the same thing happened to him at 20 years old. Man, you couldn't be no cooler for me.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I was going to try to introduce that kind of somehow, but you stole that right away from me, Randy. Thanks.
Oh, man. You should have told
But
me.
it is kind of cool that, you know, y'all both at 20 years old made the All-American. Now you're what, 40 years before Laker did it? You did it?
No, not that long, Ricky. Come on. 28 years. It is 28. Now, I was sitting there thinking about that, and I'm like, oh my God, how long's the All-American been around? Been around at least 50 or 60 years.
You know, you've been tournament fishing a long time, and you know how hard it is to make a tournament like the All-American. So it's quite an accomplishment. I mean, I know guys that have been fishing their whole life and have never even come close. So I got to say, congratulations, Laker. Your dad's proud of you. I'm proud of you. It's a big deal, man. You need to cherish it, right?
Thank you, man. I really do. I don't think I really understood how big of a deal the tournament was when I first made it. I just wanted to get the top 6 because I've had such a slow season. And then once I got in it, I started to like research it and realize how old the tournament is and how big of a deal it really is to be a part of it. So this is.
Yeah, it's a historical tournament. It really is. All of our lives, every professional fisherman on any tour there is right now that's probably 60 years old or younger has probably been in the All-American at least once. And a lot of the main big name guys in the sport have won the All-American, you know. And Jacob Wheeler won it when he was 19. I think he's the youngest to win that. And so Laker can't break that record, I told him. So you don't even need to worry about it. Jacob Wheeler's already set all the new existing records. But it'd be cool to get him to go there and win the thing, you know. And he didn't even realize how few people. It's just 49 people in the tournament. So it's a better odds of winning $100,000 than any tournament he'll be in for a long time. So it's a good opportunity, and I'm excited for it.
Right. Do you know off the top of your head, I should have probably prepared a little bit more. Has anybody won it twice?
I have never, you know, I feel like somebody has in this many years of doing it, but you know, and I know a lot of history fishing, but I don't recall
right.
that, you know, but maybe somebody can figure that out that's watching tonight and let us know.
You know, Laker, that's your homework for next week. You gotta have that answer by next Tuesday night, and we'll bring you on.
You know, my memory's scrolling back right now. I don't remember short-term stuff is good, but long ago stuff I remember. I'm in the archives. It's going back, way back. You know, the guy that was in the All-American, I think he won the one I was in. I was in the 94 All-American in Muskogee, Oklahoma. And I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he won it that year. And he was from that area. And then I remember he won it again several years after that while I was still in my 20s, I think. And I've heard his name win it again when I was not in it. So I feel like there's at least one person, that guy, whatever his name was in 94, I think he's won it twice.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little research on that. That's a piece of trivia we'll never use for anything, but it would be nice to know. Right?
There's my homework right there. There you go.
No, we got to fact check that. So I wanted to have you two kind of talk about some Livingston choices that, you know, that people should have on the front deck moving into the fall. I don't know what the weather's like there, but it's getting cold quick here. I think next week we're supposed to be like highs in the 50s.
It's
starting to
cold
get a
now.
little snap. Yeah, a little cool snap here. And
See, he's in a hoodie. I've
in
been
this-
out here in this garage since it was like 4 o'clock today. I've been working in the boat and messing around, so I hadn't felt it yet. I'm sure it's cold outside.
yeah, it's supposed to be 46 tonight, so it's getting cool. But top water is will still keep working for a while. And that walking boss at Livingston Walking Boss, that's my bait.
Yeah,
That's been
this
his
is-
bait too for a while.
This right here is one of my favorite baits as well. This thing is, I get it from you, obviously.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I do is because I see you do it, but
That bait's a good bait.
it's
right
a really,
there.
really good bait. It's the easiest walking bait for anybody to learn off of, honestly, because the weights in the bait and the style of it kind of just allow you to walk it itself, basically. I mean,
Yeah, the tail weight, that most of the balance is in the tail of that bait with the chip and the battery and all that balance is in the back. So it makes that bait sit down in the tail, makes it cast a mile like a football spiral, and then it makes it just sit in one spot and it'll just tear the water up without a lot of effort. But you need to throw it on braid and dye with J braid. That's what I throw it on, either that J braid Grand or Samurai, and
I
throw it
usually do Samurai most of the time.
throw it a long ways and walk it slow this time of the year and make a lot of noise with it, and those fish will come up and get it good. And show them the walking boss part too. This is the junior
this
model.
is the junior version of it, but
This
this right
lip
here,
on this walking boss too. It's an old jitterbug style lip, and that bait is really, really good too. I threw it some in Texas Saturday on a lake there. I fished for a few hours with these guys from a church, and I took a few baits just to give them, and I tied one on and threw it and had it on monofilament line. I felt like I was going back into old days, son. He had a dial reel like I use. He had a Tatula SV reel, but he had old stretchy monofilament line and a medium action rod. Buddy, when that fish blew that thing up, I reacted, and it was like 5 seconds before I felt him on there. And I
That's
thought,
funny.
wow, we had to do this anymore. I don't know if I'd like it or not.
where can I get one
Jerry
of those walking
Strain.
bosses?
Oh, Jerry Strain. He's a good old buddy of me in Lakers. He has been around fishing. I've known him since I was in my 20s. He's moving here from Kentucky Lake. He's retired at Kentucky Lake, and he got so tired of Kentucky Lake being so hard to catch bass that he's moving to Guntersville, and he bought a lot right across the street from me. So he's going to be a new neighbor. And Jerry, you can get one of those walking bosses
off of that wall right
off
back
that
there.
wall right behind us. But if you want it before you come, get it on livingstonlures.com, and you can get it shipped to you real fast. Depends on how fast you need it.
Or Tackle Warehouse. Tackle Warehouse has them too.
Yeah.
Either one. But livingstonlures.com has all the colors, so that's probably the best spot to get it.
Yeah, that's right.
How about your rod and reel setup for both of those baits? Are y'all using the same thing, or Laker, do you fish something different than what your dad fishes?
I'm a little different than him. He uses that 7.4.
Yeah, that's my big topwater rod. Yeah, I use my topwater rod.
So he uses the 7.4 big topwater rod. I've been starting to get away and start using the 7.3 multi-purpose that Daiwa makes.
Brent Ayler rod.
Yeah, it's a Brent Ayler rod. Sorry, Dad.
It's all right. You know. It's all right. I use them too. That's good. It's all good. It's all good.
I just like the tip and the backbone in it because I make a lot of really long casts with it. The 7.4 will do basically the same thing, but that stiffer backbone and that 7.3 multi-purpose, just I can hit them a little bit better, and I don't lose them on either one, but the 7.3 is just, it's a feel thing for me. I just like the 7.3 a
I think he likes the 7.3 because he has a couple extra 7.3s. And he didn't have any 7.4s.
I've only got one 7.4.
Because I had all the 7.4s, and I didn't never really give him any 7.4s. And then he got some 7.3s, and that's why he got used to it.
I got used to the feel of it.
The 7.4 is made for that though, because it's got just a little bit of tip with that backbone on it. And Brent Ayler's rod is just slightly stiffer.
Yeah.
Which still does great. You're better off to go more stiff than you are more soft on a top water bait on a long cast for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And all you guys watching, they're talking about the Daiwa Tatula Elite series of rods. There's something there to fit any need that you have. How about reels and gear ratio? Any advice there?
Just
8-to-1.
Yeah, 8-1. You definitely want that faster reel. I use the Tatula Elite long cast reel. Any of the Tatulas all will cast good and long and do really good. And you throw the long cast and the SV both, right?
I throw the SV a lot just because I've got more of those in the boat. I throw that and the 100 as well.
Tatula 100.
Tatula 100 is what I usually throw my top waters on.
Yeah, and I tell you that 8-1 is a big deal because I had to I'm tied one on right here toward the end of the year somewhere. One of our last tournaments, I wasn't looking at it real good, and I tied on a walking balls on a 7-1 retrieve, and I didn't. It was dark, at night, and I'm starting to get where I can't see as good as I used to without putting little reader glasses on, and I'm still struggling with making myself want to do it. And so I tied that sucker on, and when I cast it out and started walking it like normal, I'm so used to knowing exactly how it's supposed to feel, and it wasn't feeling right. And I knew it in half of a cast that it had to be wrong. And I looked, and 7-1 retrieve, I had to take it off and tie it on an 8-1, so you can sure tell the difference in it.
Yeah, at 8-1.
Hey, we got one of our viewers doing some work for you, Laker, but it's still not the answer.
Oh wow!
Buswell's one co-angler. The co-angler won the All-American Championship twice.
As a co-angler.
Find out who won the 94, Stephen. 94 Redman All-American, and see whatever that guy's name was. It's in the back of my mind, but it won't come out. But that's the guy. I think he was not a pro that turned into a big name pro later. I think he was just a good Redman weekend fisherman for a lot of years, and I think he won it twice, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's a professional coach.
Y'all's day just got saved. I just want you to know that your day just got saved by no other than
Dean Starkey. That's it. My wife, Robin. Come on, baby. There you go. Dean Starkey. I knew it. I was right. I just couldn't remember his name. She's the Google queen, buddy. She can find it out quick.
Yeah, but the archives in your head are they go back so far. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can remember stuff a long time ago. I just can't remember what that guy's name was a while ago.
He can't remember what he had for lunch yesterday. He remembers that guy won in 94 and then won again.
And I remember every bass I've ever caught, but I don't remember people's names. I don't remember a lot of other stuff, but I don't know what the deal is with that. I just hope it don't get any worse.
It's hereditary. It's pretty bad.
We got to give Steven a little credit too, because he got it as well. It's pretty cool.
Starkey. I knew it, man. I'm still proud of myself that I still had a little memory left from a long time ago.
That's ridiculous to remember that.
Brittany says hi.
Brittany Gass is watching out. Brittany here.
Brittany.
She just said, hey, they just opened a new tackle store up here in Scottsboro, Alabama called Victory Sportsman Tackle Center, Victory Sportsman. And they just got a whole shipment of Livingston lures. We just ordered in for them. They get ready to have them in there in Scottsboro. If anybody's in this Gunnersville, Scottsboro area, or if up there that area, GTO is a good friend of ours around the lake. They've got Livingston, but if you're up in that Scottsboro area, Brittany and them there at Victory Sportsman, they've got them coming soon. So check them out.
So Brittany, drop the name of the tackle shop in the comments there so people can see it after we're done with this show. We got all sorts of people checking in here.
Let's look at the comments.
Yeah, Laker hits the comments till we can see.
Oh, there we go. Lance Owen, Joel White.
Lance?
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Joel White's on here tonight. Joel found out it was Dean Starkey for us too.
Yes, he did.
That's right. Now that you say it, I remember the last names. That doesn't really ring any bells, but I know the name from I can remember back in the day, Randy. We'd get those Red Man magazines, and then they turned into FLW or whatever. But there was this kid named Andy Morgan that was winning everything on Chickamauga.
You remember that?
It's like every issue, Andy Morgan, and I know Andy Morgan now.
You remember? Let me tell you what I remember about that, because I was at Gaston Lake, guiding it, as a teenager, and I remember when I was 16 years old, the first year I fished the Redman Trail. They wouldn't let us fish till we were 16, and I fished boater. Back then it was no such thing as a non-boater. It was just a boater. You'd flip a coin how the deal was and on the boat. And I made the regional the first year at 16, and that year Andy Morgan won the points in that choo-choo division or whatever it was called back then. I guess it was choo-choo, but he won 4 of the tournaments out of 6 and finished second in the other 2. I'll never forget that.
See, now I
won't either. That's exactly the year I was talking about.
You remember that? He won 4 out of 6 tournaments and finished second. That's unbelievable. He had to have set a record that year for the most points ever done in a season of Redman BFL. So it's pretty cool. But I'm telling you, that's the trail that everybody is cut their teeth on, and it's still around, and it's even stronger and getting bigger and better than ever now with Major League Fishing backing it. And so I'm excited. Lakers in it and doing well in it, and man, it's going to be good.
And I hate to keep saying it, but it's quite a feat to make it to the All-American, because you have to beat. So I don't think people realize how many guys you have to beat to make it there. And I'm impressed. At 20 years old to be in that position it's pretty impressive. But that's enough about that. Laker, I know you got some news coming soon. Is it too early to talk about it, or we got to wait on that?
I mean,
About the boat.
Yeah, we can
talk about the boat.
Yeah, so this year, especially thanks to Dad and the good Lord, I got a sponsor deal with Triton. It's going to be pretty great next year. I'll be running an XRT just like him, and we'll be in both brand new boats. He'll be having it on the Bass Pro Tour, obviously, but I'll be repping it on the me and Ethan Green. Ethan is buying one, I think. So there'll be 2 XRTs on the Toyota series next year. So,
at least 2, and maybe more than that. Yeah. But I know it'll be. So I was excited. We held out, and I'm telling you, we got some really great new people at White River Marine, which White River owns Triton, Nitro, and Ranger, and we got some really great new management in there that's been in there for this year now. And I'm telling you, everything is going in the right direction at that company. Triton's growing, and they put a lot of money into this new boat, and this XRT is going to be really cool having a new boat, because I've had the TRX model. I won the classic out of it the year I got it, the first year in 14. And then it's nothing's changed really much on it in 7 years. So it's cool to start out with a brand new, fully redesigned boat, and working right up here with our buddies at Dawson Boat Center and Joel White, who Joel posted Dean Starkey on here. Well, Joel's the main salesman and takes care of everybody there at Dawson Boat Center. That's our Triton dealer in Scottsboro, Alabama. So anytime direct messages, me and Laker, either one, and we'll always be able to get you the best deal and get you hooked up with those guys at Dawson if you're in this area. And if you're in another state somewhere, obviously you got to try to take care of your local dealers in that area so they can service you and all that as well. But Triton is going to be strong next year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to him being in a new one, and I
am too, man.
He's been in that 07. He's been in that 07 right there for two or 3 years now, and
it's a great boat. I hadn't had really any problems out of it. I mean, it's no reason.
Just a little stuff from 07 wiring, and things like that. It's got a 19 Mercury on it. It's got 500 hours on it. Yeah, we could try to sell it while we're on here.
We could.
We could. For sure. We won't buy it. It's in good shape. It's got a brand new boat trailer because somebody ran into the other boat trailer and busted it. So we got a brand new 21 model boat trailer. We didn't even have enough insurance on it. We had to even pay out of our pocket to get that boat trailer. That's like a $6,000 boat trailer. So it's nice. If somebody can get them a 19 motor and a 07 boat with a 21 trailer, man, it's good.
So that was a great week when that trailer got totaled.
Yeah, let's hear that story, because I don't know that I've heard that yet. And I got another.
I've had some bad luck this year when it comes to vehicles and trailers. Anything with wheels, it's just been rough. But it ain't even been my fault. That's the problem. So going down to the Seminole event, it was the last Southern event in the Toyota division. I'm going down there. It's late at night. I'm going to my buddy's house. I'm staying with that week, and I'm in Dothan, Alabama. I'm the only guy on the whole road. It's like 9:30 at night. All right, I'm just cruising along 45 miles an hour. I see a truck sitting up there in front of me. They're in the little U-turn lane, and I was just going along because I was coming up to them. Right as I get in line with them, they just decide they're going to pull right out. So he almost caught my truck, but luckily I was paying attention, so I whipped it over, and he clipped the trailer enough to bend the front wheel axle out on that old trailer. And I had to go 35 miles an hour from Dothan to Seminole on that trailer because I didn't want to blow it out because it was so late at night. My buddy was already in bed, so I get down there finally. I go to sleep, and I fished all week that week on that trailer, I had to go. Luckily, he's 5 minutes from the boat ramp, but I had to make a 35-minute run from the top end of Seminole all the way down every single day in the boat. So, and coming home, oh, this is gonna be great. Y'all gonna love this. I went to Home Depot. All right, so my buddy, we did some redneck ingenuity on it. I went to Home Depot and I got a Sawzall. He said, "Get a Sawzall. We got to fix this thing up." So we cut the fender off of that side of the trailer, and he had to ratchet strap my axle up, take the tire off. And he told me not to go over 50 miles an hour because the back tire had been rubbing on the fender as
that
well.
back tire was about to blow, man. It was totally worn out on the inside.
I had to stop 3 times and pour water on that tire because it was so hot. I was like, if I make it home, Lord, just let me get to my house.
And he had to miss the BFL that morning because he drove all night because he couldn't hardly get back and got home, and it was bad that morning.
So y'all want to know how long it takes to get from Seminole to Guntersville? Going 75, it takes 5 hours. Going 50 on the interstate, looking like a retard, it takes 8.5 hours. So I ended up getting home at 4 a.m. from that tournament. And dude, when I rolled in, I hit that bed, and that was the last thought I had about that trailer.
Yeah.
So Randy, I gotta ask you this. With him being 20 and traveling all over the country, how do you and Robin deal with that? Because I know Nicholas is 26, and it still worries me to death when he goes out of town to fish.
Yeah, I know it is tough. I'm telling you, it was really tough the first year that he started doing it, and but he drove around here a lot when he was 16 and 17, and pulled my boat and pulled the boats all up and down the road because he had never likes to fish down here on the lower end. He always drives up to Scottsboro and fishes upriver a lot. So he got a lot of driving around here with pulling the boat. And I felt comfortable with it. And I tell you, that Life 360 app that we have on our phone, that's one of the best things in the world, and just that everybody can have, because you can see where your kids are, your parents are, anybody that's got it on their phone. So we can always see where he's at, make sure he's all right.
It's a 24/7 tracker. I love that app so much.
I love that app. And I bet you do it 20.
He's got plenty of text saying "slow down now."
Oh yeah,
slow down now.
Hey,
that's what Robin does all the time.
That app does work both ways, so I see where you're fishing on a daily basis out here.
Yeah, and I see where he's fishing at.
There's something inside on this deal, so why don't y'all go ahead and fill us in on this?
On what is it?
About you and Norby. Yeah, David, you're right. Me and Norby both too.
Yeah, Andrew Norby. He wrecked had that boat at the Toyota Series. He run off the cliff.
So bad, I think Norby might have worse luck than I do.
He had worse luck. Yeah. Hopefully it's over now.
It's gone now. It ain't ever gonna happen again. But that was bad. So just a quick rundown on that story. You can go watch his YouTube video on his channel. But
it's Andrew Norby. He's a good guy. He
fishing with Norby.
Fishing with Norby. Good guy. Yep. And he got a good YouTube channel.
Yeah, what lake was that?
That was at the what's that lake called? The mountain lake.
Dale Hollow.
Dale Hollow.
We're staying at this house. We found this great house up on this mountain, and getting to it, the problem was there was one turn, and it was a cliff we were staying on, because that whole place is a cliff pretty much.
Yeah.
And getting up to it, it was a little curvy, windy road, and there was one turn that if you hit it wrong, it was just bad. And that morning we woke up, it was freezing cold. It was what was it?
I don't know. It was cold. All I know. I was there too. It was cold.
It was really cold. I know the road had a little ice on it. He was trying to get to the boat ramp that morning. He left 5 minutes before we did. And I guess he, whatever.
When he hit that curve, it was a little bit of black ice in that curve, and his boat slid sideways and just immediately was gone, and it went over the cliff.
And he had the straps on the boat too. Like the straps were still on the boat. That's what was crazy. It didn't even. It could have gone a lot worse if those straps had been like good. It would have flipped his truck too. That would have been bad. But
yeah. So we laugh and joke about it a lot of times, but it's not easy being out there on the road like that. A lot of things can certainly go wrong. I know Stephen Browning was telling me Bo got home from a tournament and said somebody had just tapped him in the motor at a stoplight, and they got out there and looking at it and broke the whole transom out of the boat.
Ooh. Oh man, I always thought, God, that's terrible.
He let the guy go, didn't get any information or anything like that. So it's
Oh no.
Dang.
Bad stuff can happen out there. You just got to be careful and be aware of your surroundings. Just like with that guy that pulled out onto you, Laker.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one other question. I've been in the boat with Laker, and I know how good he is with the electronics. Specifically, the active target. Who's better? Who teaches who with the active target?
I'm gonna have to say he does. He's helped me with the active target a lot. He's given me more confidence with it because I was running mine on 80 feet forward all first half of the year, and he started telling me, I'm running mine at 120. I'm like, you can't see nothing 120 foot out, and he was like, yes, you can. You got to. So we got done with the Toyota series at St. Lawrence. We went down and fished at Cape Vincent one day before we came home. And he went with me on my boat and set mine up right. And I'm telling you what, it was amazing. And so I've ran it on 120 foot ever since then, but I hadn't had many opportunities to try to, capitalize on it because I had any more tournaments. But I know a lot more about it than I did. And I know it'll do a lot more than I even realized it will do. And and so I'm excited about it. So he does great on electronics and he's doing a bunch of electronics trips. And, thanks to Joel White, who's probably listening from Dawson.
Joel
said it has hooked him up with a bunch of customers. And that's the best thing in the world. You go up there and you buy, a $70,000 to $80,000 Triton or Ranger and whatnot, whatever you buy, and you get all this Lowrance stuff. You got $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in electronics on it. Just spend $300 and hire somebody like Laker who does electronic trips and go out there and let it set it up and teach you how to use it all for 3 or 4 hours. That's the best money you'll ever spend.
Yeah.
And because you can't figure that stuff out on your own. YouTube videos are good to get your stuff done if you don't have somebody with you to teach you, but it's better when you got somebody in person showing you to do it like that.
I make it dummy proof. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I love setting those graphs up. It's fun.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw this past weekend, that active target really work. We were fishing a spit gas and fishing up in the river, and I think it's Hawtree, in the mouth of Hawtree.
Mm-hmm.
And the stumps like crazy. You could actually see the whole inside of the stump with that thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive. And then we were fishing some deep fish, and you could watch the fish swim over to your bait. And of course, for me, it would swim over to the bait, look at it, turn around, and swim away.
That's the most.
You could actually see it. It was no joke.
Yeah.
So I look forward to getting out there and spending some time with that thing. I will be calling you Laker.
Yeah.
For sure. Look, guys, we're running on just a few minutes here. I want to let you talk about your King's Home giveaway, Randy. Yeah. It's a big deal. You've been doing it a long time. What do people need to know? What do they need to do?
Yeah, I've worked all day long on the computer today, sending out info, different websites, and just getting stories already. But the boat's sitting here behind me. You can see it right now, but it's almost time. November 13th will be the deadline. It's going to be a huge fishing event for kids. We're doing it at Veterans Park in Birmingham, Alabama. For anybody listening that's in the area wants to come be a part of it, send us a direct message on Instagram, Randy Howell Fishing, or Facebook, either one. But the boat giveaway, the easiest way to do is just straight go to kingshome.com. You can just type in kingshome.com//Randy Howell. It'll take you right to the donate page, picture of the boat, all the rundown of everything. You can click on $100, $200, $300, whatever, however many tickets you want, $100 a piece, tax deductible. All of the money goes directly to the home budgets there to support the kids and the teenagers and the ladies, the women with children. There's four different types of divisions of this ministry that helps all kinds of people in need. And so 467 residential group homes across 4 counties. And it's just a great cause. And last year we did 3,186 tickets, which is $318,000. And that was the biggest year ever. And this year we're running a little behind. So we're really hustling and getting the word out. A lot of people are trying to get ready to send an email blast out, and we're going to get Power Paul's helping, Mercury's helping, Lowrance, and everybody's trying to, Fishers of Men, everybody's trying to help us get the word out. So hopefully the next we got 16 or 17 days left, but right before at 12 o'clock noon Central Time on Saturday the 13th. That's the deadline for buying your ticket or making your ticket donation on the website or the telephone. So get it done before November 13th at noon, and we're going to draw a live stream. They have a auditing firm there that goes through everything in 3 times, and once it's all finished between 12 and 2, they'll bring it out. They've drawn out one of the kids in the home that they can let be seen publicly on camera. That'll be able to draw that ticket out, and one lucky winner. And last year the guy was from Ohio. Year before that, guy was from Tennessee. So people from all over the country have won it every year, and it's the best odds ever to win it. And this boat, I'm leaving everything just like it is. I mean, it's got.
Hey, and I set these graphs up too, so they're perfect.
Set these graphs up, they're perfect, and it's got a brand new lower unit on that Mercury, because my lower unit, I caused a little issue, made it go out at Michigan.
I'm not the only problem person
So
here.
I had to get a brand new lower unit, so it don't have any time on it. So it's like a brand new motor. That Mercury's got that like custom color package on it from Mercury, the color engine panels on there, the blue engine panels. And you see the Lowrance Ghost trolling motor sitting up there pretty behind me, and I don't scratch mine off up like Laker does. His is scratched up, but mine, it's got.
If you move out of the way, they'll be able to see it.
Yeah, you can see it right there, but they can see it up there. I can see it, but yeah,
like the whole boat. Really.
Yeah, but it's got everything. Let me move over right here. You can see a little bit right there. Yeah.
Do a little demonstration.
A little demonstration. It's got a parking brake on the trailer, which is really cool. That's an option and an upgrade. Got a kill shield, a brand new Gator Guard kill shield that Dawson Marine put on because the other one came off up in Michigan in the rough water. So that's a brand new thing too. Don't have any scratches on the Harley. It's got barely 100 hours on the motor.
He's the most OCD person in the world with a boat.
Right there. It's got the custom 17-inch wheel package, stainless steel fenders. Got the steps to climb up in it. It's got 2 HDS 12 lives up here in the front on Boat Logic custom mount with the Hydro Wave, mounted on the side of it. Got HDS 16 live at the console, like a big flat screen TV on the console and the Boat Logic mount. Impulse lithium batteries this year. The first time I've had lithium batteries, they've been awesome.
Yep.
And they're like brand new. And they got a 10-year warranty on them. So we got that. That's an extra, $3,000 in batteries in here than I've ever had before. And then the power pole charge, that's the best charger ever made that keeps your batteries charged all the time. And you've got an app with your phone so you can check them when you're in the hotel room or wherever. 250 Pro XS, like I said, with the color engine panels, TH Marine, Atlas 10-inch HD jack plate, Fury prop, blue water LED custom lights inside and out and on the trailer.
You making me want it.
Am I missing anything?
You making me want it, dude.
I mean, it is rigged out right. It's got everything in the world on it. And a little shout out here to Power. It's got power pole blades. I don't know if I said that. Yeah. But I just thought about Christian Corley because I just see this laying here right now. Christian Corley, our friends at YOLOtech right here.
Yeah, we'll throw in a YOLOtech stick.
He texted me a while back and said, hey, I want to give a whole bundle to the winner of the boat this year. So the winner of the boat's going to get the bundle with the YOLOtech 53-inch pole to put in the back to put the camera on. It's going to come with a Tacticam camera. He said the bundle with a Tacticam camera. So you can always record your fun on the lake. Never miss it. Always be recording. See that guy on there? I don't know who that guy right there. That was a bad haircut. Look how bad short that hair was right there.
It's a little bit off right now.
That's awful.
We could do a whole show on the haircut for sure.
Oh, dude.
For sure.
No.
Later, what I want to know is when you're going to get your haircut like that.
Yeah, look at that. Goldilocks over here.
So
Goldilocks.
here's the deal. I used to have my hair pretty short for a while. I did a skin fade for a long time, and then this year, I don't know. I just started growing it out. I kind of like it.
Robin is the problem. She's listening right now. She kept saying, "Oh, you got the prettiest blonde hair, Laker. Let your hair grow out. It's so pretty."
It's not that long, really. Out. It's just like a little poof in the back.
It's pretty dang long. It's not Tristan McCormick long, but it's pretty long.
No, it ain't Tristan long. Tristan's like all over up here. Tristan's the guy his hat won't even pull down on his head.
Oh, you just had to put that comment up.
Oh, that's Robin. Right. She said Goldilocks.
Right.
He's so cute.
You're getting all sorts of comments there. Like
he don't have a girlfriend because he's smart. He's smart right now. He don't have a girlfriend right now. He's putting all his time into fishing and Jesus and His pet bass
Yep, my
in
pet
his
bass.
aquarium.
That's right. If you didn't see that, there's a video on is it on your page, Randy, or on
Yeah, it's on his page.
I was fishing this week while he was gone.
Yeah, and if you want to know how to set those up, I'm doing $25 information calls. You call me, Venmo me $25.
No, Laker. You can't charge somebody for that. Golly. Oh, I've got to leave.
Oh, man.
Hey, there was a question back up here from David Miller, and I'm a little bit confused by it. Maybe you guys can straighten it out.
He said, you think that Live 360 would help me catch those Ohio River buckeye bass? No, you can't catch no bass in that Ohio River with nothing, with a shocker. You need a shock, the shock things that hang over the,
I don't know if that would
boats. There's not a lot of them there. So the only good thing about that, the best thing about the active target on the Ohio River is to let you know not to be fishing there. If you won't see no bass, and you know not to fish there.
Randy, I'm going to try to pull one out of the archives. I think wasn't it Jeremy Starks like 10 years ago or 15 years ago caught a gigantic, biggest bag ever out of the Ohio River? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. But I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I'll have to go try to find that video and post it in the comments. But it was
tournament trail was it on?
It wasn't. It was just fun fishing with a GoPro.
Okay.
I mean, it was a giant, unheard of bag of fish. I guess they live there. They're just hard to catch, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't even think they live there.
Yeah, I think there's certain places they might live, but there's a lot of areas on there I don't think they live. Yeah. That's why the Ohio fishermen, most of the time guys that fish in Ohio are good fishermen because they got a lot of patience. I always used to say that about Bill Lowen. Bill Lowen was good and methodical because he knew he wasn't going to get many bites up there in the Ohio River, so he didn't ever want to miss one.
That's exactly right. Well, look, guys, we're coming up on an hour here. I really appreciate it. We're gonna have to do another show. I didn't get to touch on the sound stuff near as much as I wanted to, unless y'all have time to keep going.
Look, you can see it right here.
You can see it in the Kramer. Tell them what that bait is. That's a sweet little bait too.
This is the Flatmaster. Oh God,
that's a square.
Yeah, Flatmaster Square. That's it, Flatmaster Square. So this is a really good fall time bait as well as color, especially. But I got this one for the clear sides on it, so you can see the inside of it. It's got the battery right here. Then this side's got the little speaker, and you got the wires that go to each one of the hooks here. And as soon as it hits the water, check this out. Can you hear that? You probably can't hear that, can you?
I don't think you can probably hear it on that little. Maybe not. We don't have a speaker on there.
I wish we did, but
the shad sound, that's what you
It's got the shad in distress sound inside of it, and it plays for a 4-second loop constantly while it's wet. So if you want it to not die on you, keep it in a dry place. That's the best thing. It'll last forever.
Yeah, it's got 300 to 500 hours of wet life on the battery, and the newer batteries this year are even better than the old ones. They're even better now. They're lasting forever. Just keep them dry. Don't leave them laying in a cup holder and let the rain get on them, because then they'll keep running sometimes. But they're definitely game changers. It makes fish come to the bait. Still don't make a fish always bite a bait. A fish still got to make them bite, but it's going to enhance the opportunity to draw the fish to you and make them hear something that sounds like they're used to hearing, that real sound of that electronic bait fish sound or crawfish sound or whatever it is. That part's cool.
Especially with the walking balls. I've had plenty of times where I've been working that walking balls and I'll get a text or something stupid. I'll pull my phone out and it'll be sitting there making the noise. And all of a sudden my bait will be gone. I'll have to look up and try to hook it.
Yeah, they'll get it when it's just sitting there. Like when they miss it, I don't keep moving it. When they blow up and knock it up, I'll just let it lay there and it just sits there, and I know it's sitting there croaking that distress bait sound, and they'll just suck it down again and get it, 9 out of 10 times. So if you ain't tried it, it's a real deal. We've been using it a long time. I'm 100% sold and convinced on sound, and I can't hardly even use any bait. I've got every bait ever made in this garage, but I don't use hardly anything else anymore because I've gotten Livingston to make just about every type of bait that we need for all spectrum, shallow, deep, mid-range, top, bottom, everything, and it has that sound, and it just gives me more confidence. And that's why I run that hydro wave all the time, because I believe in sound bringing the fish to you and making activity happen a lot better. So it works good.
That was Randy.
Yeah, let me
So
get
yeah, and I mean, you know,
this right quick. My mom's calling. She had to go in the hospital today. We'll make sure she's all right real quick.
all
See
right,
ya.
buddy, Randy, we'll see you. And you know, Laker, that goes back, and you know, I can remember as a kid always being taught, you know, you got to be quiet, don't bang the bottom of the boat, you know, don't drop your tackle box. So, looking at the sound technology between the Livingston lures and the Hydrowave, that it has to work, right?
Oh, it 100% works. Like
And
100.
the Livingston product. Oh, you're back with us.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna call her back. She's all right.
Good, good. Glad to hear that. But the quality of the Livingston product has come so far in the last 5 years. It's crazy, right?
it's ridiculous. So honestly, you can. I'll even show it on my Instagram on a story after this because I got to do some videos for Busby Tackle Boxes, who is a new sponsor of mine for 2022, to show what's in my tackle boxes. I don't have a single tackle box in that boat that does not have at least 99% Livingston baits inside of it. The only reason I have anything else as a hard bait is just simply because I threw it in there because it was in my boat. And that's not because, Livingston, like a lot of people in the fishing world look at pros and they say, well, you're getting paid by them to say that. No, we're really not. Most pros only use stuff and get sponsored by people they believe in. And we 110% believe in these baits because you're not going to throw something if you don't believe in it. So, and this bait right here is such a game changer with the sound inside of it that it's ridiculous how amazing it attracts the fish to you. I mean, it really does.
Right. Yeah. Even if it gets you one or two more bites a day, kind of like using the Hydrowave, if it gets you one or two more bites a day,
that's right.
You got to use it, right?
That's right.
That's right.
And that's the thing. When I signed on with them back in the end of 2012, in the beginning, I took the baits in the Bass Pro tanks and watched them before I ever started working for them, and I could see immediately how every fish in the tank will come to the bait sitting still and immediately start coming and nipping at it. Sometimes they bite it, sometimes they just stare at it, but it brings them to the bait.
Every fish in that
every
tank
kind of
goes
fish,
straight to it.
crappie, bass, brim, catfish, striper, everything in there. So that proved right away. I just need to have a bait that has the right action, vibration, color, and all that, and then you add that sound to it, and that's like putting icing on the cake just to make it the best it can be. And so every bait they've got is made good that it'll catch fish even without the sound. So, like, I've still got some, and I can't hardly throw them once the sound quits because I got so much confidence in the sound, but you can keep catching fish on them because they will continue to work. They just won't be as good as they were.
Yep.
Right. And did Brittany and those guys up at Victory, did they order any of those baits you just showed us there?
They got this one for sure.
Did you get the flat
I
on?
did.
Okay, good. You do have some, Brett. I didn't
did.
know that.
Yep.
Lucky Laker was helping on that because we were trying to make a small starter order without getting too many things at one time in there, but it's good you got a few of them, so that's good.
Yeah, while y'all were sitting there talking, I just started going through and finalizing everything.
That's good. That's good.
You know, David Miller talks about that moment when you had that feeling and you turned around there at Guntersville, and I think that's probably, one of anybody that's a fan of fishing has got to understand that, and it's got to be one of their favorite moments as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was an awesome moment there, David. You're right. It's still the biggest blessing of my career, and without a doubt, it made a huge difference in our life. Totally, I wouldn't even probably be living in Guntersville right now had that not happened and won here at Guntersville. So it just was really awesome, and it put the Livingston bait and the sound technology on the map, and it's really, just an awesome, that whole classic, that whole deal was all God's ordained timing for us to be here where we're at today, and it's all part of the puzzle, man. And I'm so thankful. I love it. I love it here, and I love them baits, and hope I get another one in feelings next year because I'm gonna fish a bunch of tournaments next year. Pro Circuit, Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, and the Bass Pro Tour. I'm gonna fish them both. So I'm going to fish a lot of tournaments next year. I'm going to try to get back competitive again and make up for a bad season this year. all the health
He's
stuff.
getting
will
nervous
get
because I'm
better.
coming up behind him here. If I qualify for that pro circuit next season, you better
That'd be
watch
cool.
out.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he qualifies. Yeah, I love nothing more than to see it be like
Right.
Alton Jones and Alton Jr. You know, Alton Jr.'s out there smoking them now, and I've known him since he was a little bitty kid, and he grew up
That's right.
with daughter and Laker, playing with Laker on the playground and fishing on the shoreline, and I always knew Alton Jr. was going to be a big name one day, and he's doing it. And hopefully Laker can do the same thing. You just got to be patient and take time and learn. It's not an easy deal to learn and get involved with, but every day, time on the water. I heard you say that earlier.
Time on
Time
the water.
It's no substitute for that. You got to do
Cannot
your own thing.
substitute it.
So he choked the Livingston, baby. That's right. There you go.
All right. Well, look, guys, I really appreciate your time. And anytime you want to hop back on here, Laker, you know where to find me. I'm going to get you back hosting some too. I really do like having you as a guest better, though.
Do you?
I mean, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Better
Well,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
I think we're good tag teaming.
Well, you haven't done any hosting yet, so I don't know that I have anything to compare it to, Randy. We need to have you on to host a show. We need to have Eric on. And speaking of that,
yeah,
nobody told me about his bike accident. He sent me a picture of his arm today.
Oh
My gracious!
awful. Yeah.
See, Ricky, no one else on this show is going to understand this, but we got that picture today on the boat. We were out there, and it was the broken wrist, and we did not understand what it was. We thought it was a joke.
I was waiting on the joke too.
You know what I'm talking about?
He really did break it, though, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he really broke it. Yeah. And
Eric, invite Eric on the show. If he's not listening right now, which he might not be, but Eric needs to come on the show because he'd be a good comedy hour to have on here.
Would, man.
Yeah, we'll probably have to change the rating on that show though.
Yeah, we'll have to tell him that. He'll have to keep it family rated that night.
Yeah, that's right. Well, guys, again, I really appreciate it. It's been fun. I knew it would be. I guess the next thing we got up is the boat giveaway, and anything you got there, Randy, just go ahead and send it over to me. Laker, if you need anything, all you got to do is give me a shout, and we'll get it knocked out.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. We got about 2.5 weeks left, so go on there and get your tickets, y'all. KingsHolland.com/Randy Howell. Win that boat November 13th. Appreciate you, Ricky. We love you, man.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Laker, thank you, man. I'll talk to you.
Hey, thank you, bro.
All right. See ya.